Hello, and welcome to Steel Division 2. We've got, for you today, actually Game 1 between Yamin and Dark Neutron. This is a shorter game, so I shall be casting this and Game 3 right after one another in the same video, so stick around for that. But, for now, we've got first Polish versus fourth Munte. Yamin using Munte and Dark Neutron with Polish. Both very strong divisions, I would say. Munte does struggle a little bit with regards to certain things, but certainly still very, very powerful. These Vinatory Shittery are one of the things that make this division, in fact, very, very good at dealing with soft targets, in that they're probably one of the best sniper squads in the game. Potentially the CC are a little bit better from Armia, but yeah, dual snipers and a 5-man squad with very good stealth. Blenheim start. Up north, we've got Flamer, Venatori de Munte, 2 Pioneers, 2 Destiniti, Venatori de Carry, and an Infantry Panzerfaust. In the center coming in here, 2 more Flamers, 60mm mortar, 50mm anti-tank gun going down over here. Venatori de Munte and Infantlist. Down south, MG42, another Flamer. Wow. Jeez. What is wrong with my settings today? I've got them on merge. But Gustav 20mm. Military Demonte. Lots of stuff coming in. I have messed this up majorly. PTRS is coming in. Flavors, Shelky, NKVD, and also Carney. Interesting, also Carney with NKVD. PTRS not getting any kills yet. Desenko Govi and 3 more also Carney. Go with the KVD, and then up north. Another leader, 2 Saprosi, Strike LKM, and a Senko as well. The 70 to B810M coming in. 37mm already out. Blenheim is doing well. The 75mm here, the very cheap 75mm, is going to get on target onto the PTRS. As of being pioneering face off against the Stroke LKM, which are very good units with the SVTs. Flamers forced to fall back though. 60 odds of Carnies there. Definitely the disheartened, what are they called? Strafniki coming in good use here. Interesting to us, only see the 20mm here. And this is one of the things that Fourth Munte does struggle with, his anti-AA power, really. So, IL-2 coming in already. Ooh. Does manage to pin down the Pioneer, so allowing these units to move forward. This Flamer is not going to get away anytime soon. But the 250 kilogram bomb not really having the suppression to deal with that. IAR coming in for it as well. Looks like it's going to head on though. And that might actually just go down. Actually gets forced to fall back right away as the IL-2 escapes basically unscathed. 50mm. Didn't end up deploying. The MG34 and the Military Shit Theory though did get on the flank here. So that will stop any further attempts to push it to this position for a while until some support weaponry and installed. And these guns could be eliminated, but IL-2 immediately coming in, looks like for the 75mm. The single 20mm not going to be enough to stop the relatively good resistance of the IL-2, and actually getting a kill on both units as those bombs land perfectly. Yeah, not a shabby start for Dark Neutron. Also pushing into here into with the Kogovi and the Saperi. The mortar's doing an okay job at forcing these units back, but as an opportunity to get their last Molotov cocktail down. The Spursy are going to reload and surrender that unit. The Pioneer now in the opening against the Spursy. 1 machine gun for 1 machine gun. And SVTs, so Spursy likely went out there. B810Ms. Get a good suppressive fire down here. Snipers and the Pioneer having cleaned out this center town. 40 also Connie moving forward though. Against the 2 infantry should have no problem moving forward here. Well, I guess if they engage them 1 by 1, the yeah, if they both engage at the same time, there might be a little bit of a problem, but not too much of one. And the quad, the 6 total DPs now opening up on the infantry, even with the cover differential, that infantry will get pinned down relatively quickly. 60mm mortar. The 50mm since I just moved again as a T-70 now. Gets control here. Down to 14 due to these two flags. Okay, I'm coming in for that, though. There's only the Detenuti here. And this push in the center, Dark Neutron does have to be a little bit careful. There's no AT here to stop these BA-10Ms, or even like a leader with a Panzerstrike here. The lighter 75 mils are coming in on the flanks there, as 47 mils are going to... Looks like they were going to try and come in to deal with the T-70, but the T-70 did get Panzerfausted. But I'm providing recon for that. These units are going to get forced to fall back as the Detenuti is kind of come in and engage here. The Manlikas are straight pull rifles, so do have a little bit of a good pushing power there, but M3A1 now. Again, no AT down here, and that's really a problem with covering up the divisions against half tracks and stuff like that. Now, interesting to see that the Venatori de Munte is actually in the forest rather than the Infanterist here, because the Infanterists have the close range rifles, the ZB-30? ZB-30? Yep, that's the ZB-30 that can fire at the 100-meter range, while the Venatori de Munte do not. Do manage to pin them down, but NKVD doing good to provide that discipline buff there. So, interesting to see those used like that. IAR is going to circle around, though, and get a bombing strike off on that as the T-70 comes in and try and retake this position. There's the Pak-38 here, though, and these light AT guns are excellent at dealing with lighter armor. We'll even kill Shermans with the heat shell occasionally. So, for 30 points, definitely a very good gun and very good HE shell as well. Infanterist right next to the M3A1 should just be turned off, return fire to Panzerfaust that. The Pak-38 also moving forward, but nothing quite in range there. 75 mils getting in position. IL-2 coming in. This entire area has now been shut down, the AT gun having gone down. And now, with Venatori de Munte getting absolutely plastered by that bomb there. As the IL-2 falls back, the 20 mils not doing anything to ward this off. Yeah, IR is going to come in to try and shoot it down. But this position right here is now open for Dark Neutron to retake. Having said that, the Detenuti and all these units did manage to clean up quite nicely in the forest here. And these 47mm didn't even need to unload, which can now be nicely positioned over here to deal with any light armor that the Polish have coming in. Not a ton of penetration on those, but definitely enough to ward things away. Infantry finally gets the kill on there. Venatori de Munte looks like it's going to be advancing straight across the field. But this Flamer actually has to be a little bit careful. Oh, it just immediately gets surrendered. The two Pak-97s are pretty close together here. I wouldn't really want that to happen. They are somewhat separating, but definitely still want one on the road. Try and kill that BA-10, and I have two coming in for them, though. And once again, there's just the 20 mils. I don't think Fourth Munte gets a lot more, as the Ukrainians get forced back once more. But the 75 mil really should have come out a lot earlier. Let's get the bombs off. Pins down rather than kills. So the IL-2 now being suppressed will be forced to fall back and get repaired rather than just reload the IL-2s if they're left. Much like Focke-Wulf fighter bombers, if they're left unmolested, they just recover in no time at all. 47 mils, one on the flank here, one in the forest. Good positioning. If you manage to kind of set them up so that one shoots like here, and then if you can tell by the like 750 meter range there, just by the line of sight is, you can also then like position your AT gun in the forest here a little bit so that it can only see like up to the point where the other AT guns can fire. And so then like oh, bit hard with the yellow cover here. Might be better to do it with this green cover. But yeah, you can often get it so that the AT guns both only engage at like this area, and then you're guaranteed a crossfire. Bit hard to do in the heat of the moment though. 270 is trying to do its best here. The Pak-97 is moved. Two more, or Pak-50 coming in for that, and two more Venatori Chetri. Really, I would have expected Venatori Chetri up here to really just shut down any kind of infantry push, but apparently not needing it. 10-14 still. This northern flag having gone down, and this one as well. And this is getting pushed down really quickly. And so the reason why these games are so quick is actually Dark Neutron and Yamin did wrong settings. Dark Neutron has declined the chance to face off against Yamin again, so he's not going to be replaying any games. But yeah, these replays are essentially a single tick is like a double tick, and that does definitely change a lot of things in my opinion. IER goes down. Mile 2 getting away with that, no problem. It's already shit right now, gonna get on these flanks here. And yeah, like, I don't know. Dark Neutron's not in a bad position here. But as long as this keeps ticking down, so kind of what I'm hoping to do with these two videos, or these two games that we're going to cast here today, is convince Dark Neutron to replay his final series. A little bit of a spoiler for anyone who didn't catch Protoss's stream. But, yeah. I do believe these choices do relatively largely infect how you play a game, right? Because normally Dark Neutron would be half as ticked down as he is, which would give him almost double the time to come back, right? And instead, we've got a 10-minute game where there's 3 minutes left on the clock because Yamin has achieved a double tick. And sure, they're both Maverick versus Maverick, but like this is 3 minutes into B phase. There's everything left to play for here. So this is my plea to you, Dark Neutron. If you do end up watching this video, please play your other games. In fact, oh, that'll be weird if I start releasing that now. If I switch back to the direction of which game I'm gonna upload first, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll upload this as a plea to Dark Neutron, but yeah. North getting pushed back here, Venatori Shitteray, and the AT against coming into support. It is clear Dark Neutron's under a lot of pressure, which he is, right? 2 minutes left on the clock. There's nothing you can do with that much time. This was, like, a loss almost at the 5-minute mark, which would have never happened in a regular game, in my opinion. T-70 does go down to the Pack 38 here. Just a flamer here, but more reinforcements coming in for this forest now. Alts Carney together with the Dishka carrier. They should actually be able to push this flag back, but it really doesn't matter. Yeah. Bit of a screwy situation with the tick limit for certain. The victory limit there. That's now been turning to shit their AR, moving across the open again. This game is over. So let's go on to game number 2. I'll see you in a moment. So, game 3 now, between Yamin and Dark Neutron. Again, Maverick versus Maverick on the wrong settings, so the tick's going to be even worse. Now, first, Armia Krajowa, yeah, not first Polish, the Polish home army, actually, versus 3rd VDV on Orsha North. So we got Orsha East 2 times, and now Orsha North. Certainly Orsha fans, these two. Interesting, though, to see the Polish home army coming out, potentially being a counterpick to 3rd VDV, which is very infantry-focused. And the Polish army does have excellent infantry, but off-map start here from Dark Neutron. Very much trying to be aggressive. He doesn't need to win this game if he does hope to continue the series, but spoiler alert. Yeah. There is a little bit. I'm trying to convince them to continue this game on now. The system period immediately gets deleted there. PTRD's not far forward enough to kill these units, but these Obrokroshini, I can't speak Polish, and these Oknachiti are going to get fairly close in, which is exactly what they want. 3 carbines, 8 rifles, and a Madsen. Not a bad unit at all. Looks like that was actually... Oh, that's right. It's VDV smoke-off map. And now he's going to rush in with descent and Tanko descent Nikis here in the hope to clean this up. But you're almost going to need to follow it up with another barrage of smoke here, just so your units can continue rushing through it. And yeah, generally you don't see the smoke-off map coming out that much. T-34 called in. Polish home army units, the Oknachiti here are pinned down. The Polish bar not being good enough for that. 50 mil mortar, doing good work though. But there's just so many more units here for the PDV. Something's gone down. A lot of things went down. Yeah, the fact already got 2 infantry kills here. The descent Nikis went down. Tanko descent Niki went down as well. Both Tankos actually went down. This descent did unload, and there's only 1 descent in here. He's not even in green cover, and these Kopish are like, they have 4 MP44s, which, yeah, 4 MP44s is not really that critical massive unit where you would say, like, oh, this is a, you know, absolute killer in medium range. But MP44s versus units in open cover, they still do an amazing work. And now the OB can't even fight back, really, as the MG42 unloads on this descent here. IL-2 coming in again isn't a very good thing of 30 VDV, but actually fails to acquire its target. Needs to come around again. Smoke off map coming up again, but I don't know what you're expected to do with this, right? Like, you've got 2 descent DTs coming in. There's multiple bars, an MG42, snipers, and a leader providing 2-star veterancy to all of that. And sure, the descent DTs got buffed. The DTs are actually very, very good right now. They don't have a lot of health, so without another unit to tank for them, these just go down. And actually, the Studebaker goes down here to the sniper. And the automatic GT's firing at it. So, yeah. Down south as well, lots more infantry here. Sturmoviki Rock's taking damage from the bar here before they can get involved, really. And now that the Sturmoviki are firing at these Armia, they still do get their Molotov off, pinning these units down. They weren't far enough forward to prevent that. Descents are going to do their best, but there's a lot of units here, as well as the PTRD now. It's 15-9. Descent maximum forced out by this Armia. Yeah. And once again, we see 7 minutes left on the clock with the double take. This shouldn't be happening. And now, this isn't even going to get into Phase B. And Phase B is where all the income is. Like, really, guys, please, I beg of you, replay this series. This could have been so much more, because at least it gives Dark Neutron a chance to come back. I'm not saying it would happen, and now Yamin was very clearly in top shape to be pushing this much, this early, with his division. Certainly knows his fault for his Polish home army, and is experienced with it. I do think it is crucial here that these games are replayed just for the enjoyability of the casting community in Steel Division 2. I'm sure Protoss would very much like to have these games as well be a real test of players' skills under ideal conditions, rather than this 6-minute to loss type of thing where you get pushed once and you're dead. Yeah. Having said that, though, there is a overwhelming amount of forces here, as Dark Neutron really has just been rushing units into the fray that immediately then get picked off by a load of infantry, which is something that the Polish army does very well. Generally, you do need to rely a lot on, what's it called? Light armor to deal with the Polish army, because they don't have any counter to that, and air. BTRS is moving up, hoping to likely get into this position, but he's going to miss all these flak 30s. And this is the only AA that the Polish army gets until phase C. So, like, if you play a division with PE2s, for example, Polish army is not a threat at all. Third VDV, though, definitely a bit of a struggle here. The smoke off map is coming down, but with triple Ognichiti here coming in versus a single 1 health Descent DT, the 50mm mortars are going to have to pull overtime to get that done. There's even a Panzerschreck Saboteur squad here, deactivated G43s, and the HG grenade. Very powerful squad there. Krovini here, firing at descents before the descents can even get on target. They're just trying to rush forward. These descents do get on target eventually, though. And they're not even going to try and engage here. But at the same time, and yeah, they do good damage. But, yeah, third VDV really just not performing against Polish home armor. Two gonna get the Ognichiki with the fallback already happening. It doesn't even do a single point of damage. It's 16-8 for now. All these units went down. It's just a flood of units here. This fight's gonna go down. And yeah, 4 minutes left on the clock. The thing I don't like about these screwed up settings is that you're forced to bring in the units so close to the thing here, to the front line, which is just not something that you can afford to do. We saw in Game 2 that Yamin was he had all the time in the world, right, even on a single tick, to build up and fight against Dark Neutron, right? And like I titled the video, the planned assault, or the thumbnail at least, because in this game, you do have a chance, even if you're down on units, to do that. You do have the chance to build up and come back. It's not just an immediate death, like what we're seeing here. Dark Neutron does end up surrendering, but I do want to take this like opportunity. Like, if you're playing with the wrong settings, I do understand that Dark Neutron, obviously being Australian, I do believe, player, or yeah, that's the Australian flag, I think. That potentially they don't want to like fight through the scheduling of Australian scheduling times. It is quite bothersome sometimes. And commending effort here from Yamin to take the victory in Division 2 here. But these games, they don't feel like final games, guys. You gotta do something. Please. For the love of God. Right? These games were short, they weren't sweet, and they weren't necessarily an indication of skill either. This one, definitely more of just a complete slugfest on Yamin's part, so potentially the skill's there, right, for Yamin to achieve that victory, but I can't help but feeling, after casting these two replays, that the overwhelming influence of the game, right, was down to the fact that there was no time on the ticker. Now, the players didn't realize this at the time, so it was hard to say how much of a psychological influence it has. But I know if I'm being double or triple ticked, like it is psychologically racking that, oh man, I'm losing pretty badly here. I need to at least stabilize the front line before I can think of planning my next assault. And that's really what's important here, is that planned next assault. You see it all the time in combined arms, or like this kind of in this game specifically, is that if you want a successful counterattack, you need to build up the forces for a counterattack, right? And with these settings, you're just not going to be allowed them. So I originally ended this video with like a plea for the players to replay the game, but that's not going to happen. So if anyone's waiting for another 2 games, that's it for Season 2, folks. I did hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you all next time.